Blood Legacy. Lady Ails Harond has disappeared in the quiet town of Dyrford. Lord Harond is sick with worry for her and fears that the townfolk are intentionally keeping something from him. A guard on the bridge to Dyrford told me that Lord Harond's daughter is missing. He and the rest of the House Harond's retainers have been combing the village for her, but to no avail. Lord Harond is waiting at the inn. He would know more about the disappearance. And also just occurred to me that the ruins that we want to go to, Cleoban Relag, is also where the battleground where Ader's brother died. Thank you, guard. Well, this is the mill. Can always go in and peek in here. We're also looking for an Orlin woman who's a mass murderer because she had a hollowborn child, supposedly, but something doesn't feel right. The people sent after her were not official. I think that that could be just some kind of contract on her life. Hello? Have you been to Defiance Bay? I heard there's no hollowborn there. Well, you've heard wrong. They're all over the place. Can't remember the last time we had a healthy birth in the village. It's sad, sad days indeed. Well, the day is getting on. 25 hours a day. It's the 20th hour. Hello? You must have seen something. We've already told you we haven't. Stop peeking in our windows. The Dracogen Inn. Interesting name. Are you just one of the guards for House Harond? I don't suppose you've seen a young elven noblewoman around these parts? No. Is she cute? Is she good looking? Is there money for her to find her? I guess I'll have to ask the mayor. This table has been scarred and stained from decades of use. Villagers all over the place.
I just want to find her. Surely even you can understand that.
We're decent folk, my lord. Perhaps you should leave and check the wilds.
Hello. Hold on. The man wears Aedir-style robes, simple but elegant. His fine leather shoes look like they were made for padding around indoors, yet they're caked with mud. He yanks at a lock of hair twined around his silk-gloved finger. His fine features are etched with anxiety.
My child is out there. Do they not understand?
My lord, we're doing everything we can. Unfortunately, these villagers...
Beasts take them all. I don't care how you do it, but find her.
I heard you arguing with the innkeeper.
A petty, small-minded man. Just like the rest of them around here. I've been paying him an honest fee for board and bed, and yet he can't be bothered to stir himself to concern for my Alice.
Your child is missing, I take it?
Yes, Lady Alice. My daughter.
He tugs at the fingertips of his gloves.
I've asked around, but nobody in this mud hole has any concerns beyond their swine. We turn my men away like beggars and seem downright pleased to be of no use. But you're not one of my soldiers. And you look like you're used to getting your hands dirty, if you don't mind my saying so.
That's what I do. His guard leads in. My lord, a mercenary? Harond raises a hand to silence the man. If you find her, he nibbles the sum of one silk glove. Tell her I won't be upset with her. She can come back and all will be well. I just want to make sure my Elise, my child, is safe. Nothing in the world is more important to me. I'd like to ask a few questions about your daughter.
Elise. Of course.
Describe Lady Elise. She's a striking young woman, bears more resemblance to her mother than to me. She has auburn hair and delicate, well-bred features. She must be, 28 or 29 now. You don't know her exact age? Tell me about her disappearance. We'd stopped in Dyrford for a few days. On the fourth evening here, I was making plans to continue our journey. Lady Elise was feeling unwell and went to bed. When I retired a couple hours later, I found that she had vanished. None of my men had seen her go, and no one at the inn knew where she was. Since then, my people have been combing the village, but were yet to find a clue, and the locals have been no help. Oh, now I understand. You're not the mayor. I don't know why I was thinking that. You're just a noble passing through. Why did you and Elise come to Dyrford? It was merely a stop along the way to Ina's Rest. However, she took ill short before our arrival, so it seemed prudent to allow her a few days to recover. What is Ina's Rest? He frowns as if about to protest, but he gives in with a sigh. Lady Elise has reached an age where it is prudent for her to marry. Given this legacy business, I can't let her fertile years slip by, nor do I want her womb to fester in the presence of so many hollowborn. There seems to be more potential suitors in New Haomar or New Yarma. You think I haven't considered that? Arranging a suitable match is difficult. The best prospects for my child lay in Ina's Rest. Where's the rest of your family? Surely they wouldn't want to miss your daughter's betrothal. Lady Harond is ill-suited for travel, I'm afraid, and unfortunately Elise has few other close relatives. My sister and her husband, Elise, aunt and uncle, of course, have been visiting Aedir these past months. He rubs his knuckles, and as for siblings, Elise has none. My wife has only given birth to Hollowborn, since Elise, that is. I see, but back to your daughter. What about her? Well, let's go back to my previous questions. Something more? Go on, then. Tell me about yourself.
I'm Lord Harond of Defiance Bay. My family has been prominent there since Imperial times. Our primary estate is on the outskirts of Brackenbury, but we have holdings in New Haomar as well. Those went to my sister and her husband.
I see. Well, I will search for your daughter. The fact that she's a striking elven woman, she's about my age, actually.
Yeah.
He doesn't know exactly how old she is, 28, 29, still about my age. Hello? As I near, I feel a vibe. I can reach out for the soul. You see this woman running through the streets of a small city. She pushes her way through the crowd, glancing over her shoulder as she does. Her clothing is torn and her hair disheveled. Even though she appears to be attempting to escape from someone, her eyes sparkle with joy. Her mouth is pulled back in an enormous grin, and occasionally a small giggle works its way out of her throat. While looking over her shoulder, she runs headlong into a well-dressed man standing at one of the market stalls. The moment she sees the man she's run into, her face changes. Gone is the glee, replaced by fear. Her grin twists into a frown, her bottom lip quivering. The man, seeing her appearance, expresses concern for her well-being, and she leans against him, weaving a tale of a brutish man with wandering hands. As she speaks, her own hands travel over his body, seeking and exploring. Really? There is a shout from across the crowd, and they both look over to see a large, angry man approaching, roughly pushing his way through the crowd that separates them. She stiffens against him, feigning fear. The man tells her not to be afraid and steps in front of her to block the path of the figure who is coming nearer. The woman smiles, slowly backing away from them both, then lets out a gleeful cackle. Her protector turns, confused, and sees her departing, laughing and shaking a coin purse. She spins and races off through the crowded marketplace. Confused, the man feels it at his belt. His face hardens and yells, joining the chase after the laughing woman, losing herself in the crowd. That nice life. Is it dwarf? Is this an Orland? Why, it's you! Thank you, friend. You've given me another chance, and I mean to make the most of it. I've been telling everyone around here about how you helped me. Really, I don't actually remember you. Sorry. Speak to the bartender.
Well met, friend.
The innkeeper digs inside a mug with a dirty rag. His eyes under his thick brows are tired but watchful. He gives me a quick nod as I approach the bar. Don't see many travelers these days. Something I can do for you? What was your exchange with that nobleman about? He looks up from polishing his tankard and glowers at the lord. Folk around here is decent. They mind their own business. You want to stick your nose in it, go talk to him yourself. Okay. Tell me about the Lord Harond's daughter. He frowns and shrugs. His lordship says she up and went missing the other day. He wipes tankard with his ragged towel, twisting it with his swift jerking motions. I don't know any more than that. However, these lording bastards handle their affairs. Ain't no business of mine. I'll display my coin pouch. Perhaps you could make it your business? He scowls at me. Put them coppers away. My pay comes from an honest day's work. Enough for me and should be enough for anyone. But you're just like that lord, rattling your purse like it's fit to buy the leave of gods and kith. What do you mean about Lord Harond and buying the leave of gods and kith? He shakes his head. Look, I don't want no trouble from you or him or anybody else. I'm just waiting for him to tire of my ale and leave so things can get back to normal around here. This town is a little... This village is a little strange. So much for your talk of decency. If you know something, but say nothing, you're just as guilty. He leans on the bar and sighs. That girl, Elise, she was looking to disappear. You should have seen her, watching the door like a sheep at slaughter. All the same, she didn't hardly speak to no one. Only folk I seen her talk to is Turgo. He nods at the east window. His shop's by the broken tower. Bit of a hothead, that one. My advice is to let the matter drop. Like I say, it don't profit to dig around other people's business. Never mind, I want to talk about something else. I have questions about Dyrford. He runs his rag around the rim of the mug. Ask. Have you seen an Orland called Nifree? He jerks his head at the stairs. Twitchy lady, that one. Okay. He's up the stairs then, I take it? She's upstairs. Tell me about the village. Walk from one bridge to the next and you've seen it. We're quiet, hard-working folk. We keep to ourselves and don't take to being pushed around. He glitters at the well-dressed man standing off to the side. Used to be a castle here, built by some family of Aedirian thanes back when the Empire first came. Only one tower is still standing, and that's part of Turgo's shop now. Sid, that bard by the fire, could spin you the yard if you're so inclined. Who lives in Dyrford? Not many anymore. Hard to keep people around when everyone's here birthing Hollowborn. But we got a few who stick around and do business. Turgo's the leather courier. Hendia crafts potions, and Winfrith trades in general goods. Rumbald's a pig farmer, or was, anyway. Something happened to Rumbald's pigs, I take it? Damn ogre carried them off. Now he squeals more'n his herd ever did. He shrugs. It's rotten luck. Tell me about Turgo. He's a courier. Treats leather and makes armor and a few other goods with it. Problem is, the smell of tallow and deer shit tends to put people off their food, and his shop's right next door. I can see how that would be helpful to your business. What's Hendia's story? Lady's a clever hand with potions and poultices. Got herself into trouble with a nest of worms, or so I hear. Her cart's off to the east end of town. And Winfrith? Been around even longer than I have. Nice enough fellow, but never could find his way to the end of a sentence. His shop's across the square. Let's go back to my previous questions about Dyrford. He runs his rag around the rim of the mug. Ask. You said you don't see many travelers. Of course not. Why would they come here? We got bandits on the road and an ogre in the forest. As that yapping fool Rumbald tell you. Worse yet, hasn't been a healthy child born in over a year. Most kith that come here is just passing through. This Wide One's legacy is going to be the death of everyone eventually. About that ogre. You don't hardly see him this close to town. Ogres and kith don't mix well. Ugly bastards, but they're smart enough to know that much. You want to know more, talk to Rumbald. His farm's southwest of here. I dealt with ogres in Oddnua. I'll probably deal with one ogre. Never mind, I want to talk about something else. Let's see what food and drink you have. Well, we're full up on camping supplies. We sold everything before we left Defiance Bay. How about a round of ales? Beer. A little bit refreshing, especially after traveling the road. Well, I don't know who's who around here, but if this woman's upstairs, we can go and look for her. This murderer. If she can really kill that many people, she might be dangerous. The Orland hovers by the window, peering out of it every few seconds. As I enter the room, she watches me carefully, her hand hovering over her stiletto. She cranes her head to peer behind me. Anyone follow you? Who sent you? Someone told me you were responsible for heinous killings in Defiance Bay. Let me guess. Was that someone named Medreth? She draws her stiletto. It's a lie. Plain and simple. I got on the wrong side of his employers, and now he's after me. But if you're here to do his dirty work, I won't make it easy on you. Figures. Relax, I just want to hear your side of the story. What story? The Dominos came after me. I just happened to rob the wrong place. How was I supposed to know that they've already claimed it? She runs her hands under her hood and through her hair. It was an honest mistake. I'm just trying to survive now, and if you spoke with Medrith, you'd know that he's waiting. Please, help me get out of here. Go east. Medrith's waiting for you just west of the river. Especially not going to help him if he's working for the Dominoes. She nods slowly. Alright, I'm trusting you. Don't have much choice. See if you can send him the other way. That should buy me some more time. She follows the hooded figures towards the stairs, giving me a final uncertain glance as she passes through the door.
Yeah.
That was interesting. She leave anything here? Admeth Hadret, Part 1, Rise to Power. Well, we can take these. That's some silver loose as well. Well, it went as well as I figured it would. He was up to no good. And better that he was working for the Dominoes, and we've kind of screwed him over on this. The painting depicts a forested ravine somewhere in the Living Lands. This painting portrays the expansive foothills below the mountains of White March. Let's see if there's anybody else interesting here. What's this? The glass of this window is broken, warped, knotted planks have been nailed over it. Oh, it's just two people drunk. No interest to me. Oh, I'm no thief. I'm not going to break into people's chests. Let's go. Back down. Oh. Night's come upon us while we were inside. It's getting late. Probably should sleep at the end. Too late to go, but you know what? Before we go to sleep, I'm gonna go talk to that guy hunting the Orlan woman. Right here. Medrith.
Hail and well met.
Picks at a long blade of grass. Found knife for yet? I'm ready to get out of here. Yeah, she snuck out of the back of the inn and went north. He squints at me, pulling the grass into two flimsy threads. Did she now? And how would you have known that? I was just hoping you'd believe me. Medrith draws his blade. Don't worry, I'll catch up to her right after I take care of you. Best to get it over with now, especially if you work for House Domino. Attack! Holding the line here. Hurry up with that guy.
Here's a lesson.
Medrith, Rasmo is falling quickly. No problem. Lots of copper. Wow, 1,000. Over 1,000. That was well worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Stuart's contacting me. I think that Haravius has finished what he was working on. Haravius returns the stronghold with money and items. Spoils await in the Great Hall treasury chest. Thank you for letting me know. This Black Hound has been a constant companion for me. He's been following me. Of course, we feed him whenever it's time to eat. Damn Galloway, the monster like that, and damn the rest of the gods too. Is this the one who lost his pigs to an ogre? Hello? A man paces angrily in front of a wrecked animal pen, his sun-weathered face twisted with ire. He's so wrapped up in his fury that he doesn't seem to notice me. Galloway's slobbering beasts, blazing, bloody effigy, thrice damned salty wench and her soggy... That's probably not the best way to pray to the gods. A fat lot of good they've done to me so far. Just look at this mess. My pen ruined, and all but a few measly runts gone. Calm down, tell me what happened. He bites his lip and closes his eyes. His nostrils flare with each quick, angry breath. Wife's always telling me to mind my temper. Just breathe deep and count to 10. He sighs. An ogre moved into the area not long ago. Folk have been seeing glimpses and tracks out in the wood, but it seemed to be staying away from town, or so we all thought, until it made off with my pigs. Now everyone's afraid it's going to develop a taste for kith, if it hasn't already. What do you mean to do now? I know it's too late to get my pigs back, but I'd set my mind at ease to see that thing's head shorn from its neck. In fact, you bring me its ugly pate to me, and I'll trade you for something that's less of use to a farmer like me than to a rowdy-looking sort like yourself. Seen any sign of, Lord Harond? His hands curl into knobbly fists. How many times do I have to repeat myself? I already told those snoopy guards I haven't seen her, but that hasn't kept them from nosing around my property. Need something else? What do you know about the ogre? It's the same as any other, I'm sure, a big, ugly son of a bitch with a nasty temper and an appetite to match. Turgle could tell you more. He claims to have seen it in the wood. You could find him in the shop right by the broken tower. Alright then. Ask for help and give us the attitude. Well, it's late. We're gonna go and sleep. Come here looking for the ruins and we end up getting busy work by everybody in this. Well, now it's very early in the morning. We've had our rest. Feel better. Now, I guess we're looking for the courier. Hello, you're up early. Potions for sale, potions and ow! Oh! What?
Hail, traveler.
A young woman leans against a wagon. Her one arm and one side of her face are covered in bandages, with raw, rippled flesh showing underneath. A minty, tangy scent wafts from her dressing. She smiles painfully. Just ventured into town? I'm about dry on some of my stocks, but you're welcome to have a look-see. Actually, I'm looking for a missing noblewoman. Oh, that lord's daughter. She was a new shade of green when I seen her the other morning, chatting with Turgle. She was just outside his shop. She points at the crumbling tower. What was wrong with her? She tugs at a bandage. No offense, but I hardly know you. I'm not one for gossip, and I certainly don't want to cause the poor girl any trouble. Lord Harond said she was ill from travel. She laughs. That weren't no road sickness. Trust me, I know it when I see it. She really didn't want to be married to somebody. Thanks for the information.
Hello.
Anything else I could do for you? I've got some handy ointments if you're braving the roads anytime soon. How did you get burned? She turns her face to the ground. By the flame, how bad does it look? Just say it. I know you'll tell me straight. It looks like it hurts. She laughs ruefully. That's a mighty soft way of putting it. I've been keeping an eye on a drake's nest east of town at Dyrford Crossing. The beast stayed long enough to lay a clutch and move on. Thank the Sky Mother it wasn't a full-grown dragon. She looks at her bandaged arm and grimaces. Fresh eggs are much more useful than the ones that get passed between merchants or left in nests for weeks or more, and that clutch looked to be at its peak. Thought I'd see about getting an egg, but I didn't realize so many of them had already hatched, or that young worms were so territorial. What's so special about these eggs? They're one of the strongest tonics known to kith, if you leave out Carol Golan, of course, but not saying anyone should take that. The dragon eggs are known to make the kith bold, purposeful. Some even think they'll protect from beeswax, she shrugs. All I know is that everyone's pining after potions made from dragon eggs. But the damn roads can't reach none of my supplies, so I'm stuck with whatever I can scrounge up in the wood. Deercap, river reed, and the like. I could get an egg for you. She keeps her gaze steady, but you see hope kindling in her eyes and twitching at the corners of her mouth. I sure hope you're not leading me on. I don't think I could stand getting burned again. She bites her lip. If you really mean to go after it, I'd certainly pay you. Just remember, big as they are, dragon eggs are fragile, and there are a lot more I can do with a whole one. What's wrong with the roads? A noise of disgust rattles from her throat. Brigands, looters, you name it. The gods may be hollowing out our babies, but it's grown folk that's rubbing out the rest of us. People are scrambling to Defiance Bay because they hear there's healthy bursts there, and all those refugees and abandoned homes attract desperate sorts like flies on dog shit. Show me your wares. She steps aside. Sure thing. The shelves of her cart contain jars, vials, and bundled paper packets. Oh. Potions. Audra. Nothing really that great here. Well, I'll keep what you have in mind for the future. and we'll go looking for that drake egg for you.